What do you think the biggest community on earth is? English speakers? People's Republic of China? Christianity? It's Facebook. Facebook isn't just more popular than God, it makes more money too. In the last quarter of 2020, it posted revenues of $28 billion, but for its 2.7 billion members, Facebook is free. So what's it selling to make all that money? There's a saying in advertising, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product. And what Facebook is selling is our attention. In fact, 99% of Facebook's revenues come from advertising. So Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, these aren't really social networks anymore, they're media companies, but of a totally new kind and a totally new scale. Advertisers have been buying consumers' attention for 70 years, but Facebook's market cap is 10x Time Warner's. What's the secret sauce that makes social networks more valuable than TV networks? What's got them so big, so fast? The answer is content algorithms. The BBC was famously set up to educate and entertain. Ad-supported media, which is what the social networks are, have a different set of objectives. Engagement, getting you watching, reacting and commenting. Growth, getting you to share content off platform. And monetization, persuading you to click on adverts or sponsored content. The job of a content algorithm is to track your behaviour and work out what will sustain your attention so it can ultimately be monetized. The algorithms use AI and data science to personalise at exponential scale. The Facebook content algorithm uses hundreds of data points, including your browsing behaviour off Facebook. And TikTok's algorithm is already legendary for how quickly it can catch and sustain your interest. There's nothing inherently wrong with the idea of spotting what you're interested in and giving you more, but what the social media platforms have learned is that trying to predict new things you might be interested in on any given day is extremely hard and very inefficient. So the new goal is something more worrying. It turns out that it's much easier to change your behaviour than predict it. It's much more efficient to make you more predictable. Do you find yourself endlessly scrolling through your Twitter feed or relying on YouTube's recommendation engine to decide what you watch next? That's your attention being turned into advertising inventory. I like to think of myself as a sophisticated, independent thinker, and you probably do too. But the shitty news is that we're both using a monkey brain running 2-million-year-old software. So the algorithms are focused on identifying and recommending content that tickles our basic emotions. Sex and greed predictably keep people watching and clicking, but we tend to keep those things to ourselves. If you want people to share as well, you need to serve them up fear and rage. We've got 50 years of research to show us that fear and rage are just more likely to keep us in a behavioural bunker. And if you think applying that to content algorithms is a bit of a stretch, a leaked internal Facebook report concluded that 64% of the people who joined extremist groups on the platform did so because the algorithms steered them there. So while social media platforms continue to goad our inner chimpanzee in the interests of growth and monetization, completely free, by the way, of the regulation that exists for traditional media, we can expect fewer facts and more anti-vax, less debate and more hate. So what's to be done? I think two things are vital: regulation and education. AI, despite being one of humankind's most consequential technologies, is completely unregulated. Governments need to staff up or promote people who understand the technology and can draft policy and legislation that limits the potential harms. And this is now arguably a public health issue. Citizens need to be educated so they can understand the effects, unintended or otherwise, of these platforms. So next time you find yourself mindlessly doom scrolling through your newsfeed, remember, don't be a monkey. Thanks for watching.